Look at this thing. Look at it! Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again thank you for stopping by. So I've got something rather special to show you today. Right, so this is a new arrival. Obviously, as you can see from the box, this is the Tamiya TRF801Xe 1/8 scale 4-wheel drive off-road buggy. Before we get into what I'm doing with it and showing you all, we'll just go through and cover the basics. So I've written down the dates it came out. So the very first, there's two versions of this. The first one that came out was the 801XT. T stands for truck, Truggy. That came out in September 2008 on part number 49497. And then the X version, which is a sort of racing buggy, came out in March 2009 on 84067. Now, interestingly, Tamiya called this an RC limited sale series. So, and also on the box, just turn it around here, on this little emblem here, it says Tamiya designed in America. So the little bits I've read about this, or the bits of information I can find about it, this was a North America thing, Tamiya USA and what have you. So yeah, it's got a little bit of age to it. Now here's a really interesting point. Tamiya discontinued both these models, which we'll go into at the end of the video, because the history behind this is quite interesting for me. But they discontinued both models, or they certainly discontinued the X, and Tamiya USA sold the remaining kits off for $120 US. $120 US. Wow. Now, it wasn't so long ago, some of you might know this, probably about 18 months, maybe 24 months ago, Tamiya did exactly the same with the TRF801 kits they had, Tamiya USA this is, and they sold all the remaining kits once it was discontinued for $120 US. So TRF801, brand new in box, $120 US. Double that price and you'll be lucky to find a really battered used one. I mean, that just shows you how cheap that was. New in box ones now are 4 times, maybe 5 times that price now, if you're lucky enough to find one. So I know a little bit of reading I've done, when this was discontinued and they just sold them off, a lot of guys bought 2 and 3 kits, you know, mainly for parts to keep the things running and whatever. But what a bargain that was. So this was a kit definitely not on my radar. Probably around, it's one of those kits I know nothing about, or I knew nothing about. I just knew that Tamiya did it. Now obviously these were nitro kits. It's full TRF, so you didn't get wheels, tyres, you didn't get an engine. All that was extra on both the X and the XT. But what got me interested, probably I think it was about 6-7 months ago, on the TRF group, I'd noticed that some had done electric conversions to these. Now this, for me, in nitro and more so for me in electric format, this is the closest thing Tamiya has ever done to an off-road basher. You know, a kind of a modern day basher. You know how robust these things are. So it really kind of excited me, but they're expensive. Obviously, when I said it was $120 US, that was years ago. These things now, a new in box one if you can find one, and an X, the buggy one, is super rare compared to the T's, and the T's are rare, to be honest. But you're probably looking about and with shipping, probably $900 to get a new in box T kit. I don't think I've seen an X kit, the buggy kit, new in box for sale, to be honest, recently. So yeah, there's just not a lot of them about, which makes it mega cool. So yeah, again, you know, like, I think it was 6-7 months ago I looked at it and I'm pricing it all up, because you've got to, your electrics of this are a lot more expensive because you can't run your 110 stuff. Your batteries are the same. When this goes to electric format, you're running sort of minimum 4S, but you can run 6S, and I don't have any of those batteries. So you've got your brushless motor, your brushless speedo, a heavy duty 1/8 servo, and the batteries, of course. You're looking at 250 quid just for those bits. So that's what kind of put me off, and you have to buy an electric conversion kit, which is aftermarket. Tamiya didn't do it. I'm going to show you all this in the video. I'm just sort of giving you a little bit of brief history. Anyway, I nearly pulled the trigger on one, but probably, as I say, 4 or 5 months ago, one in the UK, and I decided not to. Anyway, this one came up from a lovely gentleman in Canada called Dennis. He only lives about an hour and a half away, near Niagara Falls. He messaged me, he'd bought a job lot of Tamiyas, mainly 1/10 buggies, 503s, 511s, and he had this. This thing is brand new built, never run. So I really did look at it. Anyway, I got it for a superb price. I got it for 400 Canadian dollars. Again, and that had a body shell, but it also has the electric conversion kit, which I'm going to show you, which is mega cool, because that's about $90 to $100 on its own to buy. So it had everything there apart from wheels and tyres. What else was there? Oh, and some hop-ups I bought for it as well. So yeah, and another, just a shout out to Dennis, because I didn't have the money at the time, and I contacted him, look, I really want it, could you hold on to it, don't sell it, because he'd advertised it elsewhere, and I think he held on to it for about 2.5 weeks until I got some Tamiya tokens, and then anyway, yeah, I just can't thank him enough. If you're watching, Dennis, massive thank you. Right, let me drag the car over now, and we'll get the camera over and we'll show you what it is, because this thing is a beast. So this is the car itself, and as you can see, obviously it's 1/8 scale, it's huge, but it's just, sorry I say it again, but it's an absolute beast. Look at the size of these shocks, and obviously with it being TRF with the blue bling, it's just sexy and carbon on it and what have you. So yeah, it's got obviously these huge big bore TRF shocks. You've got these really substantial front and rear metal shock towers. The kit itself comes with God, I forgot the name of it. It's not knuckles, is it? The steering arm bit, you know what I mean? Brain freeze. And you look at the size of the bloody turnbuckles, they're huge. So as I say, this is a brand new build. This has never run. And to be honest, it needs rebuilding, because whoever owned it, who bought it from you, they just put it together. They didn't, it's a dry build. I have to check the diffs on it, but the shocks have no oiling. And the main thing to check, obviously, is the nothing's been, oh my goodness me, my brain's not working today. Thread locked, that's what I'm looking for. And the majority of this car it needs to be thread locked. So it's got 3 diffs, it's got front and back gear diffs, and the oil diffs as well. And then the centre unit is the centre diff. There's I don't think there was any options for it, as in a locked diff or a slipper clutch maybe. I don't think it had any of those things. What can I show you? Look at the side, and it's heavy as well. That's front end. Stabilizer in there, and you just look at all this blue. So just quickly, these 2 chassis strengthening arms, you can see I bought those separately. It has black plastic ones on in the kit. Now, me being me and not knowing anything about it, I just paid, I think I paid $55 US to get those. They're brand new, posted to me, and the only reason I've done it is to add more blue bling to it, which is sad, but you know guys, that's me. I just think it looks epic with those on. I have read since then that I think the guys who really race these properly don't use them. It makes the chassis too rigid, apparently. But for how I run things, you know, that won't matter. And then this massive back end, again with a stabiliser on it. And then finally, if I turn it like that, you can see the bits of carbon it's got. So you've got this is your centre differential in there, which is huge, a little bit of carbon, and then you've got your carbon here for your receiver servo, and then again a little bit of carbon on the steering, and it's just all beautiful. I absolutely love it. UJ's all around, obviously fully ball raced, but as you can see, this is set up for nitro. That's where your nitro engine goes. So what I'm going to do now, I will dig out the electric conversion kit that I've got for it, just so you can see how that fits. So just before we get into the electric conversion kit, in the description I'll put a link to this redrc.net article, and it's when Tamiya actually made the XE prototype and started racing it. It's only a very short article. That's the car I'm showing you, that the prototype car. So Tamiya were seriously looking at, Tamiya USA and into Canada were seriously looking at this, and they had TRF drivers in Canada actually racing these, and from what I've read, these cars did really well. So I've no idea why this didn't take off. So after Tamiya had done a prototype, RCmonster.com in the US brought this electric 801 conversion kit out. Now I'm not going to open it up, but you'll get the gist of it. Underneath this big plastic bit here is the new battery holder, and on that, it's on the other side, it's got the battery straps, and then you've got this huge substantial metal motor mount, and then you've got the radio gear metal plate for your receiver and your servo. How that goes, let's see if I can get this. So on this side of the car, this is where your battery goes. So as I say, you're running on 4S, 6S. On the other side, this carbon plate comes out, the motor mount, this plate comes out, and the big silver motor mount goes across there, and then your metal radio gear plate goes there. So I know a couple of guys I know a lot of guys who have done this, and it works a treat. It's supposed to be a really good quality kit. Just while I'm here, I'm going to give a massive shout out to my friend Odd-Arns Bjorgland. This is his channel. Show him the YouTube love and go subscribe to him if you haven't. It's a superb channel, and he should have way more subs than he's got, because his videos are quality. And the reason I'm bringing Odd-Arns up is because when I was sort of in limbo wondering whether to get this kit or not, he got hold of one, and he's now done 4 or 5 TRF801T videos, including the conversion, which is really cool to look at, and he's even running the thing now. So I'll put a link to Odd-Arns channel in the description as well. If you're interested in the TRF801s, that's the channel to go to. And also, it's just a great channel. So while I was waiting for the car to arrive, I ordered some wheels and tyres for it, pre-glued. I didn't really know what I was ordering, to be honest. You can get grippier ones than this, and you can get less grippier ones. I kind of went middle of a road tyre, and they've got foams in as well. Now, what I have just done, because I was bored, I've put some MCI tyre decals on it, and that's obviously just for show. I think they look superb, to be honest. And when the car's finished, it's just going to set it off. Obviously, when I come to run it, it's going to rag those off in no time. And I've also had a little play with the wing, putting decals on it. Hard plastic wing. It's bloody huge. So that's what I've gone for. That's not far off sort of the box art. And then big Tamiya on the back, and I've just put these Tamiya logos with a TRF on. So I'm really happy with how that looks. That looks great. Now, obviously I got a body shell for this, so I'll put pictures up. I had to cut it out, and now I've sent it off to get professionally painted. I'm trying a new painter in Canada who, shout out to Stuart, give me his details. So that's actually been sent off on making this video. That was about a week ago. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's going full box art. And I just think the thing is going to look absolutely superb. So what I'll do next is, let's bang the wing and the wheels back on, because the car just comes to alive. The car comes to life. And there we have it. I can't tell you how excited I am about this one. I've spent so many hours just staring at this car as it is now. Never mind waiting. I'm excited about the body shell and the paint job. I am excited, and I'm excited to see it finished, but just looking at it like that, it makes me happy. That might sound a little bit daft and pathetic, but it honestly does. It's just awesome. I absolutely love it. Let me stick another car outside of it so you get an idea on size. I think that just gives you a little comparison of the sort of size differences in it. Let me just see if I can lift the up a little bit so you can see it from there. Sorry if the camera's wobbling about. But yeah, it's huge, and I think obviously when the body shell's on, it's gonna look way bigger, to be honest, than it does in that shot there. And then from the other side, oh, what do you think, guys? Are you a fan of this? I absolutely love this thing. It's so meaty, and it's Tamiya. That's the thing. That's the key for me. I've had a 1/8 nitro before, and it was okay, but I've never been a lover. I've never gotten to grips properly with nitro cars. Obviously the option is there because I have all the bits in the kit, fuel tank, flywheel and everything. So I could buy an engine and fuel and we could run it nitro. But yeah, for me it's got to be electric to start with anyway. So this video was just kind of a quick overview for you guys if you've not seen one before. And I was kind of desperate to get it on the channel and show you. I just love it. It's just awesome. So this bit is finished with me. I'm not going to do anything else until the shell comes back to me. I'll decal the shell up and we'll get it fitted. Because first of all, for me, I just want to see it all finished. It's all brand new and I just want to look at it. That's what I do. Whether we'll run it or not, I have no idea. Now, the second part of this video, whenever it does, I'll be showing you it finished. In that second video, I may have well fitted the electric conversion kit into it. Just, I don't mean with any electrics, just fitted it all to show you how it goes. In fact, yeah, I will do that. But if I am going to run it, and this is a decision I have to make, because I don't honestly know if I'm going to spend all that extra cash to get a full setup for it. Because and I'm not being tight, but 200, 250 quid on something I'm hardly ever going to run. I'm not going to bash this thing. You know what I'm like. I'm not going to, you know, it's one of the things as well. 4S batteries will be expensive enough, but you're probably looking at about 35 mile an hour-ish with 4S. It's going to go to about 55 mile an hour on 6S, so it's a huge 20 mile an hour difference. And 35 mile an hour going to 55 mile an hour is massive. But if I was going to run it, I would want to look at that comparison as well. And then when you've got it, you really want to take this to like skate parks and stuff and start doing some decent-ish jumps. I'm not talking about sending it to the moon and all that rubbish. That's not me. But, you know, doing some proper jumps, getting the suspension working and all that good stuff. So I'm humming and hawing. I don't know. So I've kind of blinkered with this one. And the next step is just to get it finished and looking great with the electric kit fitted, conversion kit fitted. So guys, let me know what you think. Are you a fan of this thing? Did you know it existed? And why did it not take off when it did so well? It's another one of those Tamiya stories. It's bizarre to me. Yeah, I understand why Japan, the main factory or whatever, didn't, you know, they weren't into it. But 1/8 racing, nitro and electric, is a huge market. And all the kits are mega expensive, all the other brands. You know, the 801 did very well in the nitro circuit, it did very well. They then converted it to electric and it did very well. As that little article in the description will tell you. There's another article, but I couldn't find it again, where there was a couple of Canadian Tamiya TRF drivers running the electric 801s, and again, they were killing it, you know, but it stopped. And, I don't know why. And to me, and listening on the forums on Tamiya Legends group and stuff, I think there's so many guys who are crying out for something like this in electric form, a 1/8 Tamiya basher that's pretty rugged like this thing. Don't get me wrong, I'm saying it's rugged, no doubt it's got its weak spots, but the way I drive these cars, I'll never find that. Anyway, I'll shut up. As you can probably see, I'm a little bit excited about this one. It's not going to fit in my IKEA glass cabinet, that's a problem. if I do end up sort of keeping it or whatever. I guess when it's on the cabinet I could put it at an angle, which might look pretty cool. Maybe have all the blue and all the kit shining with the top off and then mount the body shell above, just for show while I'm not using it, which will be most of the time. Anyway guys, I'll shut up. I'm just buzzing about this one. Stick in the comments what you think, and if you've got any ideas of why Tamiya didn't go ahead with this, or I wouldn't say didn't go ahead with it because they give it a good go in nitro, but it looks like the electric was only 1 or 2 seasons, and then they just didn't bother with it. You know, is that just because it's not a big thing in Japan? I don't know. It's huge in the US and full North America, isn't it? Anyway, I'll shut up guys. So once again, thanks so much for watching. It's massively appreciated. If you are new to this channel, if you could please consider liking and subscribing to support us. And if you do that, smash that notification bell for our weekly videos. And as always, my friends, happy RCing.